morning everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It is Saturday the 17th of December 2022. Now, you regular viewers of this channel will be aware that today was meant to be a double header, but unfortunately, like the majority of the games in the country this weekend, Gateshead versus Gloucester City in the FA Trophy has been beaten by Jack Frost. However, the first game of the day is still going ahead, and that is of course Newcastle United versus Rayo Vallecano in a friendly. Looking forward to this one today. It's always a good match day experience when you go to St James's Park. Looking forward to seeing a La Liga team in action, which is a little bit rare for me as well. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Let's head on up to Newcastle. So, here I'm in Newcastle, and going into this game this afternoon, Newcastle are currently going very well in the Premier League, currently in the third place. Will cling on to that sort of position and get Champions League football? Only time will tell. I mean, personally, I think that the January transfer window will have a major say in that, but I think if they can get European football of some sort for next season, I think that would go down as a very good year for them. As for Rayo Vallecano, they're currently 8th in the La Liga table, and they're a club that I've got quite a lot of respect for. Obviously located just outside of Madrid, lurking in the shadows of two absolute footballing powerhouses right on the doorstep. So for them to be up there competing in the top half of the league, it's you just got to say fair play to them on that. What sort of teams will each of these sides field this afternoon? I'm not so sure. Obviously, Newcastle for sure have got quite a few players that have only just come back from the World Cup and as well are back in competitive action on Tuesday night in a competition I think Eddie Howe will be looking at and seeing it as a perfectly realistic chance for them to have a run in and maybe get a trip to Wembley and maybe even a bit of silverware out of. I think it's a little bit longer before Rayo Vallecano are back in competitive action, but yeah, looking forward to this game this afternoon. Hopefully, given the fact that it is the first Newcastle game in quite a few weeks, it'll make for good atmosphere, even if it is just a friendly. But let's head on down to St James's Park and find out how it all unfolds. Well, a little bit bigger than the sorts of grounds we'd normally get on the channel, but anyway, let's head on in. So Newcastle are out to warm up, and the starting 11 is very strong, but the subs are basically all kids really. Obviously, as I said earlier on, one or two are just getting back from the World Cup and things like that, but all same, a bit stronger with the starting 11 than what I was expecting, to be honest, bearing in mind the Bournemouth game is just on Tuesday. So Newcastle in the traditional black and white stripes this afternoon. Rayo Vallecano in red with a white sash. I think you'll get a surprise when you see this.
Come on!
Strong start by Rayo Vallecano.
She's getting them out. Oh. I really thought you shouldn't have taken it. Oh.
Half-time, Newcastle United 1, Rayo Vallecano 0. The first 10 minutes of that game were played like basically the World Cup final. The remainder of the half, well, played like a friendly. You can tell that the main point of interest for the players out there is just to get a bit of match fitness back. Obviously, quite a few of them will be a bit behind on that, obviously as a result of not going to the World Cup and what have you. I know Newcastle obviously were in Saudi Arabia for, was it 1 or 2 games recently? I'm not too sure, but anyway, they were in Saudi Arabia. It'll be interesting to see in the second half if any of the younger lads come on and if any of them can make a fairly decent impression and maybe give Eddie Howe a bit to think about in terms of like, does he select them maybe for a cup match or something like that, or does he look to send them out on loan, maybe to, I don't know, maybe even to Gateshead or to Hartlepool or somewhere like that, just to give them that bit more senior experience. So yeah, on to the second half. Well, 15 minutes left, we've got a bit of a game on our hands now. Two minutes of added time at the end of this game.
2 minutes stoppage time to be added. 2 minutes.
Full-time, Newcastle United 2, Rayo Vallecano 1. It was alright for a friendly, really. Obviously not really high intensity, but going to a friendly and expecting a high intensity match is like a bit like going to Taco Bell and expecting a Carvery dinner. But It was what it was. Both teams got a fairly decent run out, and Newcastle weren't as drastic with making subs as Rayo were. A couple of the younger lads got on towards the end of the game, but I think obviously one slight concern for Newcastle might be the fact that Alan St Maximin was limping about a bit at the end of the game, but I think other than that, just about everyone got a decent run out, and obviously for the sake of North East football, I'd like to think that that'll set Newcastle in good stead for the Bournemouth game on Tuesday night. All the best to Rayo Vallecano going forward. Now that I've seen them play, there's certainly a team that I'll be keeping my eye out for, and you never know, if I ever find myself in Madrid, it's certainly an option to maybe go there one day. But that is that for this video, and I'll be back on Tuesday night, all being well, with the Gateshead versus Gloucester City FA Trophy game. It's going to be quite a mild on Monday and throughout Tuesday, so I'm hopeful that game will go ahead. But until then, take care, and I'll see you later.